Okay, everyone, here I am up at this Explorer note. This is the first one. Now, I'm on my own server and I have engaged God mode, made myself invulnerable because I want to take the time going through here and explaining where these are. Now, of course, you can rent your own server, and since you would be the admin of your own server, you can go in and if you're doing Primal Pass, you can do God mode. And of course, that gives you the ability to learn all the engrams, level yourself up to 100, and spawn in materials. And a lot of experienced players do that. Of course, you got to have the money and to be able to do all those things. If you're a younger player and you're just starting out, I still recommend that you play single player offline because that doesn't cost anything. And you'll learn the basics of the game and you'll learn your way around the terrain a little better. Now, from the last video, let's see, it's now 7:45 in the morning. In the last video, I stopped here at this box before I opened it, and I just turned level 10. But it was late in the day. So I went back down to my base and ran around and got some more meat, got that cooking, a few more materials and a bunch of berries and things like that. So that it's possible to run around everywhere necessary without having to stop anywhere and get meat or berries. And now, of course, even in God mode, I still have to eat, so. And as I run around here, I'll collect up some more berries as I go along. I don't have any meat, not possible to spawn any in. From the opening, the previous video, know where this box is. And later on I'll insert into the video the map of where all the other boxes are. So start here first thing in the morning, then run back to the place where a base is. Now you won't see a base here because I haven't built one on the server. And normally I would not recommend swimming across here. Although if you want to save a few seconds of time, you can. You just take the risk of being attacked by something. See, all I have here is a foundation and a bed. That's so I can fast travel around. Anyway, I'm going to come back down on the side of the peninsula. And you can see here's a Spino, so that's pretty dangerous. Sometimes there's a Baryonyx down here. Either one of those could be quite dangerous and make your run here very difficult because you got to avoid those guys. Okay, about here is a good place. It's still going to go through some deep water. But got to swim across to this side. Now things can get a little dangerous because you can run into raptors and such like that. along here. Now you see I put a little torch here. See this rock? Not too far from the crossing place, has kind of a unique shape. And you see over there the red obelisk. So if you orient yourself about right here and open your map, you can say I'm facing due west. What I want to do is turn around 180 degrees so I'm facing due east. About right there. You can see that big old tree right in front of me. You see this half of a palm tree. And this big old tree right here. Just want to run straight in to the west. And I put a torch here to mark this one. So this is the second box that you can get. After you get that, and run out here towards the beach again. It's easier than running through the jungle or the forest, whichever. Generally safer. And run up the coast. Watch out for the Sarcos. Right there is one. And you want to go around the end of the island here. Okay, you see that rock there that I'm looking straight at? Just popped up into view. You want to run along the beach. And you see that rock. And in the foreground is this flat rock. So what you want to do is get around here from this flat rock. And open your map again. And want to go so you're pointing straight north. Which is right up there by that pointy rock. Right up the hill. Right up this hill. And bang. This is the third Explorer note. Okay, get finished with that one. Now, I want to run around over here. And I don't recommend going along the beach here because it can be quite dangerous. But need to get across the water again. As always, that can be difficult or dangerous. And want to head right over into this little valley here, I think. Yeah, right into this little valley. I'm going to run up this valley. Oops. There we go. Get around these rocks. Go up here. I'm kind of bearing off to the left. And there's another this is one of those places where there's ruins, but there is no box here. And the reason for that is the box has information about an animal that is not in the mobile version of the game. So that's why there is nothing there. Okay, I'm still want to get back this way. Up over the hill. Where I'm heading is the cave where the artifact of the hunter is located. You don't have to go in deep into the cave. You just want to go to the cave entrance. Because what that will do is give you an XP boost, just like getting an Explorer note. Now you can see I put another marker out here, but you can see this big old tree here. And if you come out this way a little further, of course this can all be quite dangerous. You see that big old tree, and in the background behind it is another big old tree. This gets you into the correct little ravine. You want to run in here, go past this first big rock on the right here, go in a little bit further. Sometimes you'll run into a raptor up here, so you got to be careful. Now I put a marker light here by this big old tree, but if you look right over here to the right, and it's difficult to see sometimes, right here is the entrance to the cave. Now you don't have to go in any further than about here. I've already discovered it, so it doesn't show anything on my screen. But when you get that, same thing. You'll get an XP boost. So you want to get out of here, turn to your right, continue up this ravine. Oops. Getting a lot of lag here. And of course, after every one of these, if you get a level up, you want to do your level up in speed. Now, somewhere here fairly soon, you're going to hit that 140 mark in speed. Depending if you can keep getting the Explorer note boxes discovered and getting the XP boost, so it stacks and it remains continuous. Okay, now I've come out here. There's my little base that I built, the only one that I've built so far here on my server. You want to get out here, run down the beach a little ways. Have to be careful of sarcos along this beach. Now, somewhere along in here, same thing. Megalodons usually are not too much of a problem, but megapiranhas might be a problem, sarcos might be a problem, and mantas might be a problem. I'm going to get out of the water, get over here. Now you can see I'm heading kind of southwest, because what I want to do is get out on the peninsula, or on the ocean side of the peninsula. Over here. There we go. There's some dillos and things scattered around here. But same thing. I mean, I can run fast enough that dillos aren't a problem. Now, you can see right there. This is the next box that you want to get. And when you get here, you can see there's a green obelisk. And over there is an old structure. So when you can see that old structure, right over here is an Explorer note. You get that, you head over here to this old structure. Right inside the structure is another Explorer note. I've tripped that one from running through here. Anyway, you want to grab that one and continue right on through. Before you go too far, you want to go right down here as soon as you can towards the beach. And here's a number 3 out here on the ocean side of this peninsula. So there you've just gotten 1, 2, 3 real close together. They'll stack up quite nicely for your XP. And like I said, by the time you hit all that, you're going to be level 140 in your movement speed. So now you kind of got to think about what you want to do next. Are you going to want to settle someplace and take all those levels that you've gained and learn the engrams necessary to build and craft things that you can use in the game? It's a fairly narrow place right here where you can cross over. You can see my shack is over there. Now, of course, my health and stamina and things are up a little bit higher than yours would probably be. And if you cross right about here, the water's shallow enough that you can get across without swimming at all. Now, one thing I also recommend that you bring with you, and you make the night before or sometime in the day before, is a sleeping bag. And you can come right over here, put the sleeping bag right here. Dillos are almost always a potential problem everywhere. But if you're playing casual, easy, nothing will be over level 30. And look at that. I've got a unicorn here. But of course I'm playing online. I won't get that unicorn playing single player offline. Anyway, another reason, of course there's plenty of wood and stone around. And in the beginning game with a pick, you can do these river rocks to get these rounded dark colored rocks to get metal. And with that metal, once you've gained the levels, you can create a forge, smelt up some metal to get the ingots to make your blacksmith bench. And this is the last place, at least at this stage. You want to come across here and just run right up here. Now, once again, you got to be careful because it can be dangerous up here with the creatures. And right up here is another structure. Well, it's raining and it's dark, it's hard to see. But in here, somewhere around here, is another Explorer note. Having a hard time. Oh, there it is right there. There is another Explorer note. So that would be the last Explorer note that you would get on this run.